That Dustin Poirier fight last night was absolutely phenomenal. Third fight with Holloway, his retirement fight. I mean, obviously, him winning would have been ideal for his story. I guess is I don't even want to say his legacy because his legacy is cemented, and I mean it's kind of poetic in a way that he lost. Because to me, the culmination of Dustin's career, he never touched the undisputed gold. He never got the belt aside from the interim belt. And I feel like his whole career is pretty much just it just kind of sums up the idea that it's not always about the outcome. He continued to do what he does for the love of the craft, disconnected entirely from the outcome of, his fights. And he would have done this whether it was in a back alley, whether it was in a bar, whether it was in his backyard. He did this for the love of the game. So what could be more inspiring than that? I mean, he maybe never even expected to make it as far as he did. So once you get there, and I mean, sure, he would have loved to eventually have a title, but he probably did more than he could have ever expected. And he did it all just through pure love of the craft. He wasn't, I mean, I'm sure when he started, or even on the regional circuits that he was tearing through Lafayette, I doubt he ever cared or dreamed that he was going to be a world champion one day. At that point, sure, as he, got into his UFC career, obviously that was a goal of his. But man, I mean, he just really loved what he did and succeeded purely from that love. And he never was attached to the outcome, or he never let it affect him, I'd rather say. Yeah, he's unstoppable, dude, and it's gonna be tough to see him gone. Holloway, I mean, he just put on a monumental performance. Now, he's gonna be a problem at 155 for sure. He looks like everyone says, he looks big at 155 for sure. Which I didn't even really notice until I put him next to Poirier. And next to Poirier, I mean, he did not look small in the slightest. So very impressive from him, and he's definitely going to be a problem at lightweight. My only concern is that he did get dropped. He did get dropped this fight, and he got knocked out in his last one. Is his chin still there? Yes, he's super durable, but assuming we have Topuria at the top of lightweight right now, is he gonna be still resilient against him, and could he even potentially put Ilya on the back foot? I think Max is definitely still a better volume striker than Ilya, that's for sure. But Ilya might have that edge and power over him, I'd have to say. We'll see. I mean, that's definitely one that I want to see again. People who are saying that it's not worth seeing, it, I don't understand that. Just because, I mean, yeah, Ilya knocked him out, but I feel like Max could definitely put on a really good performance against him. But yeah, that was the state of UFC last night. 318, right? I think it was 318. 318, really good card, honestly. I watched the early prelims for once. I never watched the early prelims, and it was extremely enjoyable. So yeah, I can't wait for the next card, I guess. Anyway, so what are we watching up here? I don't know. I was watching this video called Every Major Human Mistake That Changed History Forever. And I mean, it's pretty interesting. I have been, in general, just reading about more history just because I've always wanted to just know more about history, more ancient history, just beyond, some of the more recent stuff that we learn about in high school and stuff like that. And something that he mentioned in this video, one of the things that changed history forever was just the fact that, dude, Alexander the Great had no heir, or he had an unborn heir when he was passing down his empire. And because he had no heir to pass the empire down to when he when he gave it up, or did he, I don't know if he died before that, I don't remember, but anyway, he had no heir to pass down his empire to, and so his like councilmen who were working together to build this empire for years, and from all the way from Greece to India, they basically just immediately turned on one another, and that is the reason like the majority of that part of the world looks the way it does today, or at least like that spurred the breakup of that ginormous empire into most of what we know today. And it's just because bro didn't have the foresight to think, man, what's gonna happen when I'm out of here. So even the most powerful empires created by the most powerful people can fall apart because of small oversights, and pretty crazy at the end of the day. Now, that Clipse album, by the way, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. So like Clipse, like the Pusha T, Malice, and all them. Holy crap, that is an unbelievably good album. And if you haven't listened to it, please do. I forget what it's gods something. Well, I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold up. What the hell's the album called? It's so good. Oh, also, check out this pizza I made. I only have a picture of it because I ate it already, but I mean I made it with like a pita flatbread. And I've been doing this pretty often now, and it's like the only thing I really eat at the end of the day. After like I usually just don't eat that much during the day, and then I train, I go to the gym or whatever, and then I eat this, and like it is so unbelievably rewarding at the end of the day. Yeah, but the Clipse album, like Let God Sort 'Em Out, looks like it has cause on the front, like a cause thing, and it was so good. And the song that's like really stuck in my head is So Be It, and Ace Trumpets, I would say. And they kind of they go into one another. So Be It and then Ace Trumpets right after. So unbelievably good. The beat is just, it sticks in your head. And the other album that I'm really excited for is Alfredo 2 by Freddie Gibbs. I mean, I've seen him live once, and that was so cool because like you genuinely don't realize how talented some people are, especially when it comes to just like freestyling or just like spitting like live. And it was crazy to see someone, and he was probably like unbelievably drunk on stage too, but he did not miss a beat, he did not mess up a single word. It was kind of unbelievable to watch, honestly. Anyway, so what are we doing today? There's this site called Over the Wire, which basically has these kind of Linux challenge rooms where you can practice just basic Linux and bash commands and whatnot. Just kind of tests your fundamentals in that regard, but it's kind of gamified. So we're gonna mess around on that, and I'm gonna make myself some yogurt first, but we're gonna switch over to that screen now. All right, so we are on Over the Wire. So I've actually completed a couple of these levels before, but I think I might just go back through and restart them, or like redo them, just for the sake of continuity, and because I probably might not remember everything that I did back then. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I think with level 0, and how many levels actually are there? It looks like there are 34 levels. All right. So with level 0, essentially you're just trying to actually get connected to the server, and I have my Ubuntu distribution here, my it's Windows subsystem for Linux. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through each level and kind of progressively get the passwords that we need to access the next level. So with level 1, or level 0, all we're doing is we're SSHing into the a host, Bandit Labs overthewire.org, and so we're going to say SSH, and it specifies the port as 2220. So we're going to say -P2220. And again, since I actually did also record this first 2 levels the night that I recorded the earlier part of the video, but then I was tired and it didn't really come out well, so I'm gonna restart it now. But yeah, so we specify port 2220, and then we give the username, which would be bandit0 at bandit.labs.overthewire.org. This should work. And then the username and password is bandit0. Cool. So now we've accessed the the 0th level, and we're gonna go ahead. I'll clear this up, and then let's also just do a quick long listing, or just a listing of what's in here. And we have a README file, so let's go ahead and read that. Alright, congratulations on your first steps into the Bandit game. Please make sure you have read the rules, and if you're following a course workshop or walkthrough, please inform the instructor about the rules, and alright, whatever. And so this is the code that we're looking for. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open up my sticky notes. I do have the passwords for the first level and this 0 level saved. So I'm gonna continue to save these passwords here in case I forget. Get, I don't know, locked out or whatever. So I'm gonna save these passwords. I can see I have the level 1 password here as well, which means that I could go to level 2 right now. But just for the sake of continuity, let's go ahead and copy this level 0 password and then go ahead and access the next one as well. So we're gonna go ahead and exit out of that one, and then now we're going to specify bandit1 as the username so that we can access the first level. So the level goal is so again, this is when it says level 0 and then points the arrow to level 1, this is basically technically like level 0 and how to get access to level 1, which we just did. So now we click on level 1, and this is the instructions for what to do here. So we're going to access this, and we have the password from earlier. There we go. Clear that, and let's go ahead and do a listing here. Now, this listing shows us that there's clearly some sort of file here, but it has dash as the username. As the name of the file. And you can see that it even says that. So the password for the next level is stored in a file called dash, located in the home directory. Now, each of these levels provides a helpful reading material section where it explains kind of what you might need to know about to figure out each level. Now, I'll continue to use these as I go through, but I can tell you for this one, the solution is just to list out the full the full file path, and then that allows you to view the file. Because if you were to do cat dash or more or less dash to view the file contents, it's just going to give you a hanging cursor, and then you're going to have to cancel, because that dash is, if to my understanding, that dash is probably expecting some sort of flag or option to the command afterwards, so it doesn't really understand what you're saying. It doesn't read it as a file name. So instead, we have to ensure that we include the / to say in this current working directory, and then if we click enter, then we actually get the password that we want. So it actually recognizes that we're saying, I'd like to concatenate the file in the current working directory called dash. Okay, so this one's pretty simple, and we can go ahead and copy this, and let's go ahead and exit out of this level, and then we can go ahead and jump into level 2. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. I maybe didn't copy the password properly, but it's a good thing I wrote it. Yeah, I think it's a good thing I wrote it down here. But let's go ahead and do that. Okay, cool. So, yeah, now we're in the second level. Let's go ahead and jump over to that. Okay, so with this one, it says the password for the next level is stored in a file called spaces in this file name, located in the home directory. So let's go ahead and do a listing. Okay, so clearly it looks like there's this entire file called spaces in this file name, and we can even ensure that it's a single file because we can see it's if we do a long listing, we have this file called spaces in this file name. So let's see. I mean, if I had to guess, I could imagine if I just put quotes around it, this should treat it as one file. There we go. Okay, so that one was pretty simple. I didn't even have to really look into that one, but just putting quotes around it allows you to treat, even with the spaces, the whole thing as one file name. Okay, so not bad at all. Let's go ahead and save that password for later. And exit out of here. Clear all of that. And now we're going to hop into level 3. Bada bing, bada boom. Copy this thing. Paste it. And we are in. Super hacker style, we are in. Alright, let's clear all this. And then let's jump into level 3. And I'm going to sip on some coffee real quick. Alright. So with this one, and let me make sure let's do level 3. Okay. So for this one, it says the password for the next level is stored in a hidden file in the in here directory. So let's go ahead and do a listing. We can see that there's this in here directory and it's in blue, so that does indicate that it's a directory. So we're going to go ahead and cd into that. Let's do a listing here. Okay, so there's nothing to be listed here, but we can use a couple options with the ls command. And I usually do ls-la. I believe this should give you a full long listing of all hidden directories and files as well, which, as you can see, we have the two hidden directories of dot and dot dot, which indicate the current directory and the previous directory. And these are hidden generally because you don't need to see them. You just know that you can say cd dot or cd dot dot. But we also have the dot hiding from you. So when you put the period before creating a file or directory, it turns it into a hidden file or directory, to my knowledge. And so now I believe we could do dot hide from you, or would I do dot 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 hiding from you? Yeah, there we go. So we can do cat dot 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 hiding from you, and there we go. Okay, cool. So I think I'm not sure exactly on the formatting of this, but I would assume that as soon as you put the single dot beforehand, the rest of it is like anything after it is going to be considered hidden. So I don't know if it really matters if you put the 1 or 2 or 3. It's just as soon as it sees one period in that file name, it's going to treat it as hidden. And that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and copy this password and jump on over to level 4. All right, let's exit out this thing. Clear. And level 4. And copy this. Awesome. All right.